Hey everyone, it's Shayna here. Are you left-handed or right-handed? I did a little experiment and then a little digging, and what I found might surprise you. Hi, I'm Shayna. This is Shayna Keen Wellness, where we talk about mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health. Glad you're here. So, in studies that were conducted, it shows that about 90% of the population is right-handed, where only about 10% is left-handed. So the study made some conclusions based on this data, and what it said was that due to a balance between competition and cooperation is why the majority of people are right-handed. So what they hypothesize is that because humans are social animals, that since we see other people using the right hand, we also choose to use our right hand so that we fit in. Now, the opposite is true for competition, where we'd use our left hand as an advantage in certain sports such as boxing or baseball. So why am I bringing this up? I don't know if you can recall when you were a child, or if you have children yourself, of maybe you or your mother encouraging you to keep moving the crayon or the block to the child's right hand, not forcing, but repetitively helping the child use their right hand predominantly over their left. Now, I did a little bit more digging because I thought, well, this is interesting. Why would a society want the majority of their inhabitants to use their right hand? Well, if you're familiar with left and brain hemispheres, we know that the creative side of your brain is on the right side, and the more analytical, logical, get stuff done is on your left. If you're primarily left-brained with the more masculine, focused, get it done kind of energy, then you're going to be right-handed. And if you use more of your right brain, which is more of the collaborative, creative, artistic, musical, colorful side of your brain, you would be left-handed, because we know it's opposite, right? The opposite of the body is controlled by the opposite part of the brain. So would there be an advantage for society to have people maybe in a patriarchal society where the majority of the people are using their masculine or left brain? I'm going to leave that up for you to decide. But I did a little bit more digging, and so I found some other interesting things from around the world that I just want to share with you because I think this is really interesting. So in Reader's Digest, there was actually an article just June 9th of 2022 by Taylor Markarian. And her article was why lefties used to be retrained to use their right hand. So what's interesting is this isn't just something that happens in the United States, which was another thing I was wondering. Is this just isolated to this country, or are there other pockets of people or populations around the world that also tend to prefer the right hand? So they're saying that when you force a child to use a different hand than what they normally favor, it can lead to mental illness or be a precursor of mental illness. So Dr. Howard Kushner, researcher professor at Emory University and author of On the Other Hand, Left Hand, Right Brain, Mental Disorder and History, found that because left-handed children were being forced by right-handed adults to alter and reject their natural behavior, that they would develop conditions such as stuttering and attention disorders. Isn't that interesting? In a Time article published in 1969, it contends that ever since medieval times, stern Catholics have believed that being left-handed was a sign of the devil or witchcraft. And in the United States and Britain, it was regular practice to retrain lefties to be righties throughout the 20th century. Here's another one. The right-handers' bias against the southpaw goes all across the globe. So when it comes to language itself, here's some examples. The German word linkisch means awkward. And in Mandarin Chinese, words synonymous with left are wrong and incorrect. And then in English, right, the word right, means correct. So, if you're thinking about tools and devices and things like that, pretty much everything from scissors to equipment is all designed for right-handed people, primarily. So in China, it's reported that only about 1% of Chinese people are left-handed because Chinese educators taught lefties to adopt their right hand. So it's more of this conformity. And Chinese characters, apparently, were actually formed to be written with the right hand. And here's this one's interesting too. In several cultures, the left hand is still believed to be unclean or improper. So, for example, when you visit Islamic countries, they use the right hand for eating and for, greeting people and stuff like that, where the left hand is considered dirty because that's where you wash with. So you should never make contact with somebody with your left hand. And Japanese culture has historically held the belief that being left-handed is a curse or a bad omen. It's just so fascinating to me, But when you look at the difference between the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere and the characters that they govern, masculine and feminine, our society has favored the patriarchal qualities and suppressed the feminine for thousands of years. And with a society who wants, their workers to be productive, it would make sense that they would create something like this that primarily uses the left hemisphere of the brain, which is, all about analytical thinking, doing, processing type behavior. So I want you to give this a try tonight and just try using your left hand. Besides all the really interesting information, what it does is it really makes you get into your body. I don't think you can use your right hand and not be in your body. There's no disassociating happening when you're using your opposite hand than you normally would. So give it a try, or even try eating your food with your left hand instead of your right hand and just see how it goes. It's a fun little brain training exercise because what better way to check all the boxes than to be ambidextrous and be able to use both hands. I don't know. Give it a try. Just food for thought, and be well, everyone. If you like this kind of content, be sure to like and subscribe. Subscribing is completely free, and liking lets me know you like this kind of content, and so I can make more of it for you.